Hey you guys, it's Lynn here, and I am sorry. I have not done a video in quite some time now. Actually, since I think my Emerald City Comic Con video where I talked about how Emerald City got canceled and that led me to paint the hallway in my apartment, which I know sounds very weird when I say it like that. But being stuck inside and getting cabin fever will do that to you. So anyways, you guys, today, let me just start off. Whoa. Okay, let me rewind for a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. I haven't had enough human contact. Obviously, I'm going insane. My name's Lynn. I'm a cosplayer from Seattle, Washington. I usually do videos where I give you guys tips and tricks about doing cosplay costumes. I review cosplay websites I've bought from, and also I give you guys kind of funny story times about conventions and events I've gone to, just whatever I feel like blabbing about that day. So, if you guys have watched my videos, the first thing you're going to notice is this setting is very different than I normally am in. So, normally I'm in my office, but with the self-quarantine happening in Seattle right now, I am in my home office, which is also known as my bedroom. Notice the sparkle lights on the ceiling, the bunny pillow on my bed, and also the cat pillow. Just kidding. It's actually my cat, Milo. Since I've been working from home, he sits on that bed every single day and does not leave my side. It's like he has to know what I'm doing at all times. And I wonder how many people's pets at home are like very confused, like, human, why are you home all the time? You always leave for 8 hours. What are you doing here? The only change I've noticed in Milo, besides that he sleeps a lot, is that he gets more zoomies. So out of nowhere, he'll just suddenly run through the apartment, jump off all the walls. You hear scratching. It's like insane. And then 2 minutes later, he's asleep on the bed again. So this space is my temporary workspace because obviously with the self-quarantine, I can't go into work at my office. So my temporary solution was to set up a folding table in my bedroom up against the window, put down a tablecloth, grab the chair from my porch with pillow, and this is where I set up my computer and I work from home. Living in a small apartment is difficult when you have a spouse who is also working from home, because then you kind of run into the issue of, okay, who's working where, and like, I need my quiet time, I need my space so I can concentrate. So my spouse has kind of like a little setup in the living room where he does all of his gaming already and everything. So that's kind of his temporary workspace, but now there's extra computers and printers there. And my workspace ended up being my lovely blue bedroom, which actually has kind of become my sanctuary these past 2 weeks. It's been a little over 2 weeks since I worked from home, and it's very odd how quickly the time passes. And I feel like I've been fairly productive. I've gotten a lot done. I've started some new hobbies in my free time. And mostly I've put all my cosplay stuff on hold. And I want to talk to you guys about why I did that, because there's not necessarily a good reason behind it, but I do feel like it's something that's worth mentioning and talking about. My coffee here, absolutely need caffeine in order to wake me up now that my days are all switched around. It's kind of funny. I am a big traditional Seattleite. I love espresso. I love cold brew. I really, really love coffee. And with a lot of coffee places being closed right now, what I've been doing is the gas station that's just right down the street from me, I'll walk over there and I'll buy like the Starbucks bottled cold brew or the little espresso shots that you can get in the little metal cans, and I bring it home and I just kind of pretend. I'll put it in like a cup or a glass. This is actually one of my favorite glasses. I got it from Forever 21. It just has so much glitter in it. I would tip it, but I'll definitely tip the coffee out, but there's like sparkles. And if you guys don't know this, sparkles and glitter make me happy. Yeah. So I'm going to show you guys a few things today. And I'm going to talk to you guys today about a few things that have been going on. But I want to give you guys, just as we start this video, I want to be honest with why I put all my cosplay stuff on hold. And I'm not going to lie, when I made my last video and I talked about Emerald City getting canceled, I was in a very bad place mentally and emotionally. I had been planning for Emerald City and Sakura Con for months to happen. I had put in hundreds of dollars to get costumes on time. I had gone back and forth to the craft stores multiple times, stayed up late nights sewing things, hand sewing a lot of stuff, getting things put together. I even bought my spouse his very first cosplay costume, and we had started to do makeup tests, and I had cut his wig. It was just like a lot of stuff. So when those events got canceled, I had this extremely strange, hollow feeling of all the time and effort and money that I've just put into this is suddenly gone and I can't get it back. Because, you know, money you save up and the cosplay costumes, you can always wear the cosplay costumes later. You can always spend the money on something else or save it for a future date. But the time and energy that you spend into going to a convention, you don't get that back. So all that time I spent booking the hotel, making sure the dates were written in the calendar, you know, asking for the time off work, all the hours I spent sewing, all the hours I spent scrolling online to make sure I was buying the very specific things I needed and by the right time. It was like one of the most disappointing things I've ever had happen. If a cosplay event or a convention gets canceled or rescheduled, there's always kind of that option of, you know, it really sucks that this happened, but there's other ones we can go to. Why don't we just go to a different one? In this period of self-quarantine and the coronavirus, all the conventions have been canceled, which means there is nowhere to go to show off your cosplay costume. There is nowhere to go to interact with other convention goers or cosplayers or craft with people or watch funny panels. And it hit me like a sack of rocks right in the face that that's what was happening. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt like I went through a brief period of just feeling really sorry for myself and feeling angry at the world. I felt angry that this virus had even gotten to this point where it was this serious, because then there's like the stress and anxiety of that being like a threat out in like my average everyday life. But then I felt really sad and sorry for myself that like all this hard work I'd put in for these costumes and making sure I was gonna get to wear them suddenly wasn't gonna happen. And coming to terms with that was very, very difficult. When I originally talked to my spouse about this, I said it was kind of funny because I felt like I was mourning these events. Like I was mourning that they weren't going to happen. And I was going through all the stages of grief, like bargaining, like, please, okay, if Emerald City is not going to happen, please don't let SoccerCon get canceled. I'll do anything. Like, I'll give up another convention in the future, whatever it takes. You know, feeling anger, feeling like mad at people who had nothing to do with it, you know, and then eventually in the end feeling acceptance, like, okay, it's not going to happen. There's nothing I can do to change it. If I sit here and keep feeling this way, I'm just going to get deeper and deeper into the feelings of depression and grief. And I don't want that to happen. So I need to turn things around. And that's what I ended up doing. So if you guys are out there and you feel that way about conventions getting canceled around you or one that you had coming up in the future, I don't want you to feel alone. I want you to know that your feelings are 100% valid, and I guarantee you, even the people that seemed like they were totally fine with it getting canceled probably went home and had a drink and cried in their bed that night because they were disappointed. A lot of people, I'm sure, did it. And it's kind of funny how so many people I saw online were attacking others for saying that they were upset the convention was getting canceled. And all I could think was, you know, it's not okay to sit there and attack other people's feelings. If they're sad or angry about this, that's a valid feeling and they have the right to feel that way. Like, it isn't fair that this happened. None of us caused this. None of us, you know, went out and found a virus to release into the public. Like, this isn't Raccoon City. We're not in Resident Evil. But it kind of came off like a lot of people were just attacking others for saying that they felt upset or sad. And you can't sit there and be cruel to others saying, oh, well, if you're saying that you're sad or upset about a convention getting canceled, you must really not care about all the people that are dying. The feelings are not inclusive. You can have both feelings, even if they seem like opposite feelings. A lot of opposite feelings go together, and you can feel two very different ways about one subject. That's a normal occurrence. It happens to a lot of people. So as we get farther into this video, and you guys are probably wondering what I'm going to blabber on about next, there were so many things that I wanted to say in this video, but it's funny getting in front of a camera and like, I am not a professional YouTuber. We're in front of my window right now. You guys are being filmed. Well, I'm being filmed through my phone camera. Like, it's not even a normal setup. I don't have a ring light. I have a big window, and it just so happens to be sunny outside in Seattle, which is great lighting. But as I get in front of the camera, sometimes it's hard to like articulate exactly how I'm feeling because I'm feeling so many different things. And I am definitely a person who I feel like I feel a lot of different emotions at the same time. But one of the things I have noticed about self-quarantine is it's made me realize how important my home environment is to me and how it can affect my emotions without me really noticing. So before the self-quarantine thing happened, every single weekend I would pretty much be busy. I would be out with my close friends. I would go have dinner with them or drinks. We would go hiking. We would go outside. We would go to events. Like, we were just always kind of going, doing. My spouse and me, we really like to go have traditional dates. So, going and seeing movies, going and having dinner places, walking around the mall, like whatever. We were kind of always not at home. And so I guess I never really sat down and thought about, there were a lot of parts about my home that I didn't like anymore, like little things that were bugging me, but I just wasn't home enough to really notice it. And so one of the things that I sat down and did since I've been home a lot is I started to make little tweaks about my home life. So the first thing is I started changing the color scheme in my bedroom, especially because I've been working in here. But I've heard that blues are supposed to be a very calming, relaxing, centering color. They're supposed to help you sleep better. They're supposed to help you focus and breathe better. And so I started to bring a lot of blues into my room. I actually went and bought blackout curtains that are this beautiful like teal blue. My bed sheets are all blue. 2 walls in my bedroom are 2 different shades of blue. So we have that blue that's back there. And then I have a really light colored blue that's like around my window wall. And I started to buy a lot more blankets. And I have these like squish pillows. So these pillows I bought from Daiso, the little $1.50 Japanese store. There's one in Crossroads in Bellevue, and there's also one in downtown Seattle in Chinatown. And I love Daiso. I go there for so much stuff. I am a sucker for cheap, cute Japanese things. But they have these pillows. I call them squish pillows. I'm not really sure what they actually are, but they're really, really soft microfiber, and they're so squishy. And yeah, so this is the little bunny one that I found, and I love them because if you're laying in bed trying to read a book, or you're sitting on the couch in the living room, you can use it to like prop up behind your head, or you can use it to like prop up behind your shoulder or your back or your lower back. And they're really cute, they're really soft, and they're just really like cuddly. And I know it sounds really strange, but with people being home a lot and being stressed out and anxious, having cuddly things really, really helps lower your stress, because sometimes you just need something to cuddle that's not a cat that wants to tear your face off. This is the other one that I got, and it's a cat one, but this is actually a really cool pillow because, so I'll show you guys, also got from Daiso. And as a quick note, these pillows aren't $1.50, they're $5 there, but I mean, $5 for a squish pillow, that's pretty good. So this is a very specific type of squish pillow. It's actually a napping pillow. So in Japan, they make these pillows. You can stick your hands into the pockets, and then you can lay your head down with your hands inside and take a nap that way, which is super cool. So I'm one of the people where when I sleep at night, I tuck my hands under my pillow when I sleep, because I like to sleep like this, like with my hands underneath. Or like wrapped around something. And this pillow is super awesome if you want to take a nap on your desk, or a nap on your couch, or a nap on your porch, or a nap outside, I guess. And again, I got it from Daiso. Super, super awesome. Also, this shape is really cool because you can use it as a neck pillow, like on an airplane. So it's like very versatile. Throw that back on my bed. So there has been a lot of things that I have changed in my apartment. Probably the biggest one being I went and bought a new couch. So I kind of referenced it a little in my Emerald City Comic-Con video, which was the old couch that I had, I absolutely hated. I bought it on Wayfair, and I wanted it because it's one of those couches that has it had an end piece where you could like lay down, and I really wanted it, so if I had friends over and we wanted to watch a movie, there would be enough space for everyone and someone could like lay down on the end, and it would be like a good couch to have naps and stuff in. I did not realize how horrible that couch was until I injured my back 2 summers ago, and I had to spend over a month sleeping on it and laying on it until I got better. And the one thing that I never noticed before was the wooden bars in the couch. If you were not sitting in exactly the seat parts, you would lay on a wooden bar and it would go into like your hip or your leg or your back or your side, and it was just so annoying. So for a long time, probably over a year, I've wanted to get a new couch, but I just kept pushing it off. Like, you know what? My money could be used for events. I have other things coming up. I have this coming up. I have that coming up. Like, I'll just do it when I get free time. So with all my events canceled and me being stuck at home, I went ahead and I bought a new couch. And then with the new couch, I decided I think I wanted a new coffee table. And then I ended up buying some IKEA furniture. And then I ended up kind of moving things around in my living room and throwing out things I didn't like or need. And it kind of turned into me actually like redoing a lot of my home projects that I had put off. So as I would do one thing, something else would pop into my head, and then I'd be like, oh, I should do that too. And then something else would pop in my head, and then I'd be like, oh, and while I'm doing this, I should do that. So there was a lot of things in my kitchen too, like appliances that I really needed to get new ones, but I just kept telling myself like, it's not a huge issue right now. Do I really want to spend the money to do this? I'll just do it later. And that's how I ended up getting an electric kettle, a new toaster, a bunch of new utensils because my old ones were really, really old and chipped. And the more I did this, the more I started to realize that it's not about having new things in your home. It's about having things that you feel like are useful and look good and feel like they're well taken care of. Because as things add up in your home that you don't like, it becomes less happy to be at home in your own space. And with being self-quarantined, I was like, I can't be disappointed from conventions and events getting canceled and also be stuck in a home that there's a lot of stuff I don't like about it. Like, there has to be a balance somewhere. I have to either be really happy to be at home or I need to go find something to do, and I can't do anything. So home projects it is. A quick note about this, and I want to make it very clear. A lot of people are suffering from a lot of mental illness because with the quarantine going on and average everyday life being just totally tossed into the air, people are unsure, they're scared, they're anxious, they're nervous. And with that, any mental illness that you've battled over the past year or two or few years can be extremely hard to cope with or to overcome thoughts of falling back into negative patterns. So I want to make it very clear that quarantine time is not a time to lose weight or get super buff or like change your entire personality type, change your entire style. Quarantine time is a good time to take a look at your home space and to relax and try to center your thoughts and work on things that have needed to be worked on, not completely change your life. Because a lot of people are getting into this mindset, and I've even seen people doing Facebook posts or tweeting saying, if you don't come out of this quarantine with at least a new skill, a new certification, or, weighing less or being stronger, then it's like you just wasted all that time. And I think that is total BS. A lot of people are struggling mentally right now and emotionally, and that's not what they need to hear. What you need to hear is whatever you feel like you need to be doing right now, do that. If you feel like you just need to hunker down at home, you need to be with your cat, you need to be with your squish pillows, you need more time to just sleep and try to eat healthy and get more naps in, then just do that. Whatever the bare minimum of what you need is, you know what you need. No one else can tell you what you need. But this is not the time to make people feel guilty for not getting cosplay costumes done, for not getting accessories, made or props completed or things that, like styling wigs and stuff. If someone comes out of this quarantine and they didn't get any of their cosplay stuff done, there's nothing wrong with that. And usually it's because there's been some mental factors that maybe other people don't know about that were coming into play, and those were more important than getting cosplay costumes done. So I want to just let everyone know to keep that in mind. Be very kind to your neighbors and the people that you see online. You have no clue what type of battle that they're fighting right now or how hard they're pushing uphill. It's a really difficult time for everyone, especially people who use conventions and events as a way to connect with others and to celebrate, being a cosplayer and having this very unique niche hobby. Some people take it a lot harder than others, and some people are feeling very lost right now. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video and taking a moment to come into my home and share my bedroom and my kitty with me and kind of my thoughts. I'll try to do another video soon to keep you guys entertained, but wherever you are out there and however you're doing, take care of yourselves. Make sure that you're doing something that you enjoy, that makes you smile, that makes you happy, whether it's looking at dumb memes online, whether it's playing your favorite video game, whether it's doing some online shopping that just brings a little bit of happiness into your life, or whether it's dreaming and creating. Whatever you need, you know what's best for you. So anyways, bye guys, and I'll see you later.